Now, creating a simple shading technique. Now, first, you make your sketch like I'm doing right now. You make a sketch, just sketch out the portrait. Anyways, more of its time lapse, I had to make this very fast, so it will not occupy that much space. But what you are seeing now, I'm making my sketch first. And the idea is my shading style, which is the normal, the arching, a bit of cross arching in it also, as the way I shade. Now this is I'm giving a part for highlights. Now when you see this line is going to guide the way I shade. Now this is where my highlights stay. Now drawing the eyes and the nose. So most times that's how I do it. I just create a very faint line just to show my highlight. Now what I have to do here in the nose, you see, it's creating depth. Now it's bringing out the picture. You can see the nose looking solid right now. Now this is my shading, arching. I just arch. That's how I start shading. Now where I have it to be one of the strongest or the darkest points, then I cross arch on it. So my technique is more of the arching and a little bit of cross arching. That is how I shade. That's it. I just stroke my lines and I create my arching, and as I go about. You can see that I only arch. You can see that. Now where it come out to be, where you find a cross arch, you discover that part must be very, very, very dark. That part must be one of the darkest parts. So if I'm creating a very dark shade, then I need to add more lines to it and a little bit of cross arching on it. Okay, I was trying to make a full technique of shading. Now you can see this is building up already. It's building up already. Little by little, it's building up. Okay. And that part is dark. The top of the lips is under the nose, so definitely there must be a shade there, a very dark shade there. If you look at the lips, the top of the lips is shaded. Now the way I go about my shading, I keep applying. So the depths keep coming out. That's what happened. So I keep applying my shade. The more I shade, the more I apply shade on the other layers of shaded parts. So it brings out the depth more. So when I see, I know this is not dark enough, then I add in more arching on it. I arch more lines on it. Then it builds up the shade even more. Look at the lips. You can see it's building up even more than it was before. Before it was a little lighter. Now this is what I say. I had a little bit of cross arching when I try to darken some parts. And you can see that here in this section. You can see that very clearly here. Now this is just my lesson 1 for shading. I'm drawing from a picture. Not from life now. I'm drawing from a picture. So the same method you apply, even while you are drawing from life, you draw the same method you apply. But make sure your lines drawing are very faint. You use faint line while drawing, because you are only making a sketch. You are not making a complete or perfect drawing. You are making a sketch. But mind you, drawing is very, very important. Drawing is one of the significant part of creating your work. Now, if you are looking for resemblance in the picture, your drawing has a long role, plays a long. Yeah. Now you can see the eyes. I am taking my time to shade the eyes. Now you will notice this. When you take your time, you study the eyes shading, you bring out life, more life in your picture.
You bring out more life in the picture. That's the beauty of taking your time to study the eyes. You study, you don't just say, okay, the iris is just a black spot, and you just painted a shade a black spot. No, that is going to make your drawing even much more rigid. There will be no life in it. And then in shading, there is, if you are shading a portrait shading, there's power in the eyes. There is power. Now, when you shading the eyes, you take your time. You impress more. You impress more on the shading of the eyes. You put more impression, because the eyes speak more message to the viewers. And when people look at the eyes you shade, now they can connect with it easily. But when you just shade, the eyes, I think normally the eyes is just a dark spot, and you just place in your dark spot. It is very difficult for people to connect to your work. It is not too easy for them to see, to feel your heart. Because the beauty of making art is people view and feel it. They feel like they can interact with it. That's the whole idea of making a portrait. They can interact with your portrait. It shouldn't just be there like it's lifeless, like it's just a mere object. They should see it and feel it, like, yeah, they are seeing the real person. Now you notice it's building up already. Now you observe I added more depth underneath the nose. That is how I build up. So it is about taking your time. It is about taking. Now, if you like my shading style, please, you need to take your time. You don't have to rush. Now, this is a 19-minute video, but I just have to make a time lapse, make it very fast, so it can be reduced to 10 minutes or thereabout. So if you observe that is my basic shading style. Strokes, I just strokes around. It's ashing, it's called ashing. So I had a little bit of cross ashing to darken it up. So at times when you see my finished work, sometimes you might want to say, this is a cross ashing. Yes, it is. I had the two of them. I used the two shading. I both cross ash and arch in my drawing. I don't just make a cross ash alone. Now some people make their drawing is just a cross ash. My drawing style is arching stroke cross arching. So more of the arching is emphasized. Now I'm building up the glasses. Now building up these glasses, I'm also studying it. I'm not just seeing it like it's just a mere round object. Then I just need to put a circle just to create. No, I need to take my time. Shading is about studying. Drawing is about constructing, but shading is about studying. So you take your time, you understand the value. Now I'm going to explain. Maybe in my next lesson, I'll try as much to explain value, because that is going to also help you to understand how to see while drawing. Now, value is very, very important in seeing. It helps you to see while drawing. Not everybody can see so well while shading. So if you can see value, then it is easier for you to study your objects. It is much easier. Take a look at this. Now you can see it as you see the build up. Now why I started it, you're just mere line. You can just see just lines, and you can see the build up. Now there is more detail in the lips and the nose. I'm still building up. Now just take a look at this here. And also I'll also explain in some other videos. I will explain depth. I'll explain depth and how to apply depth in your drawing. Creating a portrait is pretty simple, but it just time and commitment, and you need to start from somewhere. You don't have to be perfect in just a day. Now I want to make very nice portrait. Yes, fine. You have to start somewhere. You can't be perfect in one day. Once upon a time, I wasn't drawing like this. If I take my time to show you some of my previous drawing, why I started, you will just laugh. Oh, is it possible? So now all this part I'm covering, that is how I build up. Little by little, the form keeps coming up. So you keep building form this way. I'll continue the video later. Let me stop here.